Hi everyone, Sarah Picaro. Today's video is going to be about reasons why we over-explain and we justify. And if you've ever been in an environment with a toxic and unhealthy person, with a narcissist, whether you were raised by one or two or a whole family of them, or you're in a situation now, maybe you're out of that toxic and unhealthy environment or relationship, but you still find that you do this, you constantly over-explain and you justify things, and you hate that you do it. It's like you can hear that you're talking and you can't shut up, won't shut up, and you can see the response that other people are giving you, and you hate, it's like your lips are just loose and they keep moving, but you can't stop. There may be some reasons behind this, and maybe it's something that you hate that you do and you don't know why you do it and wish you didn't do it, and it feels as if you can't stop. Well, we will tend to over-explain and justify, validate, defend when we want our choice to be validated. There's internal validation and then there's external validation. And if you notice that you're over-explaining and you're trying to justify, it's likely that you want your choice, this choice that you've made, to be validated. You want that person that you're explaining it to agree with you and to nod and understanding, because that makes you feel good inside. But there's something that's unsettled inside, but if you can get that person to agree with you, then you'll feel good inside, like validated. Oh, okay. Well, no, just hear me out. It's just that, right? And you notice that the narcissist does this too. The last narcissist, that was in my life, it's been years now, but would always say, no, it's just that. And they will over-explain and try to justify generally bad habits, actions, and behaviors, but what they're wanting from you is their choice to be validated. And they will do this more so because they know that their choices are wrong and they need to paint a different picture. You're seeing this clear image and picture. Generally, you've got the evidence right in front of you. You know it, you feel it, but they're trying to over-explain and justify when they want their choice to be validated. But all people do this, not just narcissists. And if you notice that you do this as well, it's for the same reason. You want that choice to be validated. Another reason why you will over-explain or justify is when you doubt yourself and your ability to make the right choice. If you've been in a long-term or a lot of toxic environments or relationships, you more than likely doubt your ability to make the right choice. And I don't mean like right or wrong, but the right choice for you. And the right choice for you is not always the same choice that someone else would make. So I'm not saying it in the sense of right or wrong morally, but what the right choice for you is. And there's that feeling that you get inside, usually in your gut, because that's generally where we feel that intuition. Other people feel it different places, but you doubt yourself and you question and wonder, is it that way or is it this way? I feel like it's this way, but this person said it's that way. And when that occurs, you're doubting yourself and your ability to make the right choice and the right decision for you, and this can be for big things or it can be for little things, then you will tend to over-explain and justify and just talk way too much. It's almost like there's a gap or a void where in that gap and void is self-doubt and your inability to trust yourself to make the right choice. So you got to fill it with words, fill it with talking, fill it with over-explaining and justifying. Another reason why you may over-explain and justify is when you're trying to ease your feelings of guilt. Maybe you know you did something wrong. Well, it's just that, well, I wouldn't have done that if, because you feel guilty for whatever it was that occurred, or maybe you feel like it's your fault, you feel shame attached to or connected to that, and you're trying to ease those feelings of guilt. And you use this with words, you use this with over-explaining, with justifying it, because justifying is defending, and you're going to defend something that you feel a sense of guilt, and you're trying to ease that feeling of guilt, because who likes feeling guilty and full of shame? Nobody. So you will try and over-explain and justify this to defend and ease that feeling of guilt. It never completely will go away until you tap into the deeper, more deep meanings behind why those actions occurred, or those words, or those behaviors, which is when we, what we do with working together, because many people, it's really interesting in therapy. It comes up a lot, and people go, "Am I just talking too much? I'm sorry. I just like to feel like I'm not shutting up." And that is an indication that the unconscious mind is coming up and going, "This is it. This is right where we need to go." And so we go deeper there into your inner mind to really open up and explore that. All that conscious fluff and talk is just conscious fluff and talk. And it's the over-explaining and the justifying that is protecting and trying to ease generally senses of feelings of guilt, shame, frustration, and all of those wrongdoings that you're trying to protect, because if they get exploited, then you get hurt, right? So another reason why you may over-explain or justify is when you're trying to control the other person's response. You know that narcissists do this all the time, right? They only thrive when they feel like they have a sense of control or manipulation. But other people do this too, even non-narcissists, even quote-unquote normal people. And I put that in quotes because what is normal? But when you're trying to control another person's response, when you're trying to get them on your team or on your side, and the narcissists will do this with like their flying monkeys, their family members and friends, that way they kind of build this up. When they're trying to control the other person's response. And you may notice that you do this as well. And you may only give one angle of a story or paint the certain picture. And you're speaking from your perspective. Well, if you're being honest, you know that there are always two sides to a story, right? But when you're trying to control another person's response, you may notice that you justify, you validate what someone did or didn't do, and you over-explain it to kind of get that piece into your corner. And one more thing we'll cover today is we seek subconscious or unconscious. Those words are interchangeable. We seek subconscious and unconscious permission to do what we really want. And you know that you're going to do what you're going to do because you want to do it, right? Or maybe you really want to do something, but you hold yourself back from doing it because you want to be able to say, well, I didn't do that because I. And then again, that gives you permission to do what you really want. And what you really want sometimes is to not be hurt anymore, is to protect yourself or try and get someone else to not do something because unconsciously you want permission to do what you really want. So those are 5 different reasons why, to help explain why you over-explain and why you justify. A question: how do you deal with the narcissist stalking the new person that you're talking to? Same thing that you have to do with them. Block them, ignore them. Don't give them any time or attention or energy. And that's in all ways, right? Energetically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Block and delete. You need to do it, and anyone else in your life that's being impacted by that narcissist needs to just do the same thing. So I hope that helps. I hope that if you find that you're in a space where you are constantly over-explaining, you're talking, all of that's conscious fluff. But if you hate that and you're realizing it's connected to other feelings, like guilt and shame, and preventing you from being able to move on and live a life where you're fully present, where you're just happy, and you're tired of those ruminating thoughts and your lips continuing to move and trying to fill that void that you feel with words, and want to not do that anymore, then I would love to talk and connect and possibly work together. There's a ton more information on my website. There's a link in the bio, so you can always click on that. And yeah, I look forward to maybe working with you guys one-on-one in the future, possibly, if it's a good fit. But otherwise, I hope this video finds you well.